Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram at Candy Washington. Let's go.
Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to Life with Candy. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington, and I am so grateful that you're going to spend some time with me today. As you can see, I am rocking my Love sweatshirt. That's right. It is a part of the Love collection. Just head over to candywashington.com, pick yourself up a hoodie, a sweatshirt, a candle, a mug, all the fun things, and everything is always listed below in the description box. So it's the holiday season. Treat yourself, treat yourself, treat yourself. Hey everybody, as you come in, that's right, my girl Cardi B is here. She's dropping those candy canes. As you guys come in, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel and share it with a friend, because we are going to have a good kiki tonight. We're going to be talking about Infidelity, Love Marriage Hunstville, and all that good stuff. So drop your candy canes and also join the Candy Cane Gang. Join our community. It is linked in the description box. We have some really fun members-only stuff coming up for 2022. So join the Candy Cane Gang, get your sweet tooth on, head over to candywashington.com, pick up some cool stuff from the Love collection. Yes, my people are coming through. Hey, Candace Lane, she says, hi, Candy. Hey, sweetheart, how are you? Hey, Ebony M, she says, hello, everyone. Hey. Yes, that is what I like to see. That's what I like to see. So I'm not going to do your normal reunion episode show recap, right? Because everyone's doing that. This is Wellness Wednesday. This is, me and my self-care stuff. I want to look at Love Marriage Huntsville, and particularly this last reunion, because everything's coming up to a culmination at like a big end of the season stuff, right? And tackle it from the lens of infidelity. And what does that do to somebody's mental health and how they move in the world? Because I think all of these couples have all either had confirmed cheating or at the bare minimum, rumored cheating. But how each couple have approached it has been extremely different. And I thought that would be really interesting to talk about. It's kind of juicy. It's a little bit of tea. We're talking about, Love Marriage Huntsville, but we're also getting that wellness, self-care aspect of it too, of what does it do to a woman? What does it do to a man when your partner cheats on you or is accused of cheating on you? And why do we cheat? And why, and then how do you respond to that? So I think that'll be really interesting. Thank you so much, Cardi B. That's right. Don't forget to hit that like button as you come in the room. Thank you, Cardi. Yes. Hey, Anisha Pringo says, hey, Candy girl. Hey, sweetheart. How are you doing? Hey, Lisa Johnson. She says, hi, everyone. Yes, you guys, as you come in the room, be sure to like, rate, subscribe, share with a friend, drop your candy canes. And also, what couple should we start with? Should we start with Melody and Martell? Should we start with Kimmy and Maurice? Tisha and Marsau? Tiffany and Louis? Yeah, okay, Louis, right? You guys know I'd be playing around. I call him Lois. I don't mean to do it, but it's Louis, right? And then Destiny, and I never know her ex-husband's name. It's like Barbario. It's like Barbaria. It's like Sabaro. It's like Jabari or something like that. But we'll get into Destiny too, because she also has a role in this. So let me know which couple you want me to break down first. Put it in the chat box, you guys. What couple should we break down first? And how is everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I'm going to be a little transparent as we put it in the chat box. Hey, what is up? Hey, Candace. She says, hey, Candy, how are you? Yes. Ebony goes, LaBeric, LOL. Yes, Mr. LaBeric. I think there's names all mixed up. Okay, so we have a vote for, Melody, Martell, and Thickums Arion. Okay, so Cody says we start with Melody and Martell. All right, we have a vote in. Any other votes before we get in? Let's do this. Hey, chubby girl cuteness, I caught a live. Hey, Candy and the Candy Canes. Hey. Yes, you did catch a live. Yes. Okay. Ebony says Kimmy and Maurice start off light. LOL. That is true. That is true. So we have 1 vote for Mel and Martell and 1 vote for Kimmy and Maurice. And let's see what's going on. Connie B says, hey, the kitty shop. Love ya. I love the love. So we need a tiebreaker. Somebody put in what other couple we should start with, and we'll do whichever one the tiebreaker is. Do you guys want Melody and Martell or Kimmy and Maurice? Dun, 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 dun. Which one are we going to start with? I'm giving you guys 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. All right. Well, I'm going to go with Kim and Maurice. We'll start out light, and then we'll build up as people come in. So we'll get to them. Connie says I'll concede. I love you, Connie. All right. So let's start with Kimmy and Maurice. So the way I feel they have tackled infidelity, the sort of theme, they are the explainers. They're going to explain it away. They're going to have timelines. They're just going to explain it until you get blue in the face and you just have to believe that no infidelity happened in their marriage. The infidelity that I'm happy about in particular is the narrative that Kimmy was a side chick, right? So we all know that Kiowa, which is Maurice's ex-wife, sort of introduced that narrative that, you know, Kimmy sort of interfered with their marriage. And if it were not for Kimmy, then Maurice and Kiowa may have been able to reconcile and stay together. And then also we all know our favorite sister-in-law, Tisha, sort of, if she didn't fully co-sign it, she didn't deny it. And she also helped to sort of spread that rumor. And then it was also Martell like laughing like, oh, Kimmy was the side chick. You know, that's what Maurice said, with Martell's like underdeveloped childlike mind going on. But we'll get to him. We'll get to Martell. And then also what has not been said explicitly, but I think what has been said undercurrent is that there's probably been some infidelity on Maurice's side as well with Kimmy, because I feel like Maurice, Marsau, and Martell and LeBeric and that whole crew, it seems really clear that they all were rolling dirty. They were all doing dirt together. Maurice and Marsau together got Brothers' Day vasectomies without even telling their wives. I mean, what was that about? If that wasn't a clear, hey, I'm cheating and I don't want to be a Martell and get an oops baby out here, so let me go snip so I can continue to moving the streets how I want to move without having to get, you know, a baby case or whatever. So I think the underlying current for all of these relationships is that there has been infidelity at the bare minimum with the men, at the maximum between both partners. And when it comes to Kimmy and Maurice, again, I call them the explainer couple. Kimmy is going to explain to you to death why she was not the side chick. It was her integrity. It was she had never met him until these 2 adult people had signed papers. He had got up and moved. And then she enlisted Patricia, who was the ex-wife of their 3rd brother, to come in to have this very scripted, very forced, very obvious, awkward scene where Kimmy is like, so Patricia, I wasn't the side chick, was I? Please explain to America why I wasn't. And Patricia was just like, you're right, you weren't the side chick, Kimmy. Your sister-in-law was really throwing you on the bus, and she knew that you weren't. Here are all of the timelines. Here's the timelines. When somebody is that pressed to show you a timeline, when somebody has to continuously do that, that to me is a little bit of a red flag. And I think that, and I will say this, I actually really like Kimmy. She's one of my favorite women on that show. But I do think that the lady doth protest too much. Like, yeah, they said that you were a side chick. Yeah, them joking about it was super shady, inappropriate. Yeah, they were doing it to deflect from their own BS and cheating and all of that, right? But you need to say that once, maybe twice, but then leave it. You don't have to bring in Patricia. You don't have to have these timelines. You don't have to talk about 2 adults and what they did. Like, even Maurice was just like, why are you still defending this? Like, stop. And the thing is, and I want you guys to let me know if you agree or disagree with me on this. Like, it's totally fine if you disagree. I would love everybody's opinion on this. I, in this particular way, would not even consider Kimmy a side chick. I think if two people are separated, they're getting a divorce or going through a divorce, then and if the other person knows about it, I don't consider that cheating, and I don't consider that necessarily being a side chick. So I'm giving Kimmy the very benefit of the doubt here. Whereas, do I believe her story 100%? No. Thou dost protest too much. You're explaining it. The way that they're dealing with these infidelity, cheating rumors is she's going to explain to you why it wasn't her over and over and over again. You're going to get a timeline. You're going to get a character witness with Patricia. She's going to explain it all day long. It's overkill. You're doing too much, boo. But I do love Kimmy. Do I think she was an actual side chick? No. I think that Kiowa was probably doing Kiowa, and I think Maurice was doing Maurice. They probably weren't legally divorced, but they probably were definitely separated and both doing them. That's what I think happened. And I think that Kiowa, and I do agree with what Kimmy said, when she was like, Kiowa has the issue with me because Kimmy was the one who ultimately ended up with Maurice. I think Kiowa thought, we're going to separate. I'm going to do my dirt. He'll do his dirt, but we'll come back together. You know those couples that sort of like break up, get back together, break up, get back together, that they both do their dirt, but they think that at the end of the day, it'll always be the two of them? I think that's what Kiowa thought. So I think her issue with Kimmy isn't so much that she was a side chick, but so much that she ultimately ended up with Maurice, when Kiowa thought that she would ultimately end up with Maurice. Because Kiowa is too pressed about this situation. She is actually married to Maurice's friend, a whole man, and she is still this pressed about the situation. And that's why I think she's pressed. She was doing her dirt, he was doing her dirt, and then she got a big wake-up call when he actually ended up with a different woman who I think is Kimmy. So that's kind of how I think Kimmy and Maurice approach infidelity, right? They're going to explain it until you're blue in your face. All right, let's do the next couple. Do we want to do Melody or do we want to do Tisha or Tiffany? We can save Destiny for last because that's not going to be too bad. Okay, so let's see. Oh, Marcel let's say hi to some people in the chat. Yes! Hey, Marcella! She goes $10. Hey, Katie Kate, hit that like button. That's right. Please get your love collection stuff. Yay! Thank you so much. That's right. You guys head over to candywashington.com and you can shop my love collection. Thank you so much, Marcella. I appreciate the love. I appreciate you. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Dogs. Hey, Mrs. T. She's holding it down for me. I appreciate you, Mrs. T. Thank you for holding it down. Hey, everybody. Yay. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Hey, Young Rich. Okay. Yes, he did. Yeah. And Carlos did come through. Okay. So, all right. Let's get back into it. And let's dive into... Let's do Tisha, and then we'll get into Melody. Okay, so Tisha and Marsau. The way they approach infidelity is paranoia and the cover-up, right? So Kimmy and Maurice, they're the explainer couple. Kimmy's going to explain it to you all day long why she was not the side chick. She's going to explain it. Okay. Tisha and Marsau, they're going to cover up, and also topple that with a layer of paranoia. And let's talk about why. Okay, so this all kicked off when Martell was like, yo, Marsau, like, why are you coming at me with, like, my side chick situation when you have 20 girlfriends? You know, you were doing the dirt just right along with me, so don't act like you're holier than thou. Remember that? And then also remember when Melody was saying to Tisha, well, you know, maybe you need to know what your husband's doing. Maybe you need to know where your husband at. Because Melody was basically, and this again goes into when I get to Melody and Martell. Melody was saying how, you have all the smoke for my relationship, but look at your own relationship, right? Like, what is your husband doing at 3:00 in the morning with all these people, right? And then there was the whole, the reality blog that shall not be named came out with that rumor, right? And again, this is all alleged for entertainment. Let me put this up real quick because this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only. Let me put that up real quick. So that blog that shall not be named put out the alleged rumor, right, that Marsau had been cheating on her and he had a whole side baby out there. He had a whole mother baby. So there was all of these rumors going on, right? So how that manifested with Tisha and Marsau. First, paranoia. Tisha, this season, was so paranoid and so rooted in insecurity, you could smell it on her through the screen. Remember when she was super insecure about Melody and Marsau and how he had given Melody like a champagne, chocolate in a bottle, whatever, to do an Instagram campaign, and she was in her feelings about that. Remember when she got super insecure about when they had the black champagne chocolate in a bottle launch party, and that girl whose also name is kind of like a Kiowa from Ready to Love. Remember they had the Ready to Love cast there and she was in the red dress and Tisha went up to him and it was just like, why are you talking to that girl in the red dress? She was eyeing you. And it was just like a mess. It's like, Tisha, this is a networking event. He's supposed to network. Why don't you calm the F down? She went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs with that. It's all of this paranoia. And then even the Vegas trip, this to me was literally one of her saddest moments. Like, Tisha, boo-boo, get your life together. On camera, she said to his brother, Maurice, watch out for him to make sure he behaves in Vegas. So you're literally on camera telling your husband's brother to make sure that your husband doesn't cheat on you in Vegas. If that isn't the most insecure, paranoid type of behavior you have ever seen in your life, that to me screams, I know he's done this. I know he's probably still doing it. Just please don't embarrass me again. I think her insecurity and I think her paranoia is rooted in a deep embarrassment and shame. I think she's deeply embarrassed. Also, she said how she had all her family members coming to her being like, oh, the rumors. Like, is he cheating? All this stuff. Because Tisha maybe isn't always my favorite person, but I actually think she had some very redeemable moments this season, actually. But that aside, woman to woman, or even person to person, human to human, that is a lot to bear. Having someone say that your husband has 20 girlfriends, not only just someone, but his road dog, right? Like the person who actually knows where the bodies are buried, saying that adds credence to it. That's a big thing to deal with. Slap on top of that, he then goes behind your back and gets a vasectomy on national television. And then everybody in the world knows that you didn't even know your husband was going to get a vasectomy. That's a big thing to bear too. That's extremely embarrassing. Who could be secure in that relationship? I mean, I would take the strongest, most secure, confident woman in this world, and that would still chip away at somebody's self-esteem. That's a lot. Then on top of that, then you have this blogger saying that your husband isn't just out here with 20 girlfriends. He's not just out here getting a vasectomy on national television without telling you, but he also has a baby, a full-born baby out there on you. That is a lot for anyone to handle, particularly Tisha's mindset, because we all know her relationship with her mother. It's very codependent. It's very hard to watch. You know what I mean? She's always looking for validation and acceptance and all of that stuff. So with the most toughest mind, right, the healthiest self-esteem, that is a lot to bear. So no wonder Tisha is running around on this season like a chicken with her head cut off and is paranoid AF and is so insecure and it is so cringy. So they're the paranoid couple, but then on top of that, they do the cover up. And what I mean by the cover up is this. Tisha wanting to get their vows renewed in Vegas was nothing but a public cover-up front for the fact that she was so deeply hurt, so deeply embarrassed, and so deeply insecure about the state of her marriage. That I think in her mind, she was like, you publicly humiliated me, so now you need to publicly make it right. And I think that's why Tisha was gunning for that vow renewal. So she was trying to do the cover up. No, you guys, no one's cheating. I defend my husband. We're great. We're so great. We're just going to be spontaneous and get our vows renewed in Vegas, right? That's the cover up. You're trying to cover up everything that's going on. And I'm a woman and I'm allowed to change my mind. I used to feel really bad for Marcel. No, wait, hold on. My mind is changing in the moment, you guys. Okay, so first I felt really bad for Marcel in that moment. I thought, oh no, he doesn't want to do the Vegas, reunion, or not reunion, vow renewal, because he actually really wants to work on the relationship. He wants to get them back in a good place and then do it in a way that is, truly meaningful, when they're actually in a good place and they can actually plan it and make it private and really special and sweet. That's basically what he said to her. And then she was Boo Boo the Fool and listened to Tiffany 2 cents in the head. Tiffany, girl, I can't with you. We'll get to Tiffany. And tried to go through with the vow renewal anyway. And he basically was just like, did you not understand what I said? I don't want to do this. So we're not doing it. And then she got played and embarrassed all over again. But in that particular instance, Tisha, you played yourself. You had a conversation with your husband. He was honest with you about what he wanted. He didn't say, I don't want to renew my vows. What he said was, I want us to be in an actually good place. And then I want us to plan a meaningful vow renewal. But Tisha was so caught up in her paranoia, insecurity, hurt, embarrassment that she wanted to cover up what was going on. She made it even worse and exposed the fragments in their relationship even more. So to me, they're the big paranoid cover-up couple. Okay, so let's see here. Getting a drink in Melody, really? All right, so let's now move on to... Let's do Melody and Martell now, and then we get into Tisha. Okay, so Melody and Martell, the way they handle infidelity. Okay, so to recap, Kimmy and Maurice, they are the explainer couple. Kimmy's going to explain it to you. This was the timeline. These were where the people were, times and dates. Here's my character witness, Patricia. She's going to explain it to you, right? Tisha and Marsau, they are the paranoid cover-up couple. Tisha is so insecure and embarrassed. She's so paranoid. She thinks everybody in this world wants her husband. She thinks everybody in this world is trying to be with him. It's ridiculous and really hard to watch and cringy. And then she also tried to do the cover up with this fake, whack, crazy vow renewal in Vegas, right? So they're the cover up and paranoid couple. Melody and Martell are the competition couple. This is the core issue. I was thinking about this. This is the core issue with Melody and Martell. They're essentially the same person competing in a relationship to be top dog. That is why they don't work. They are both very, very similar. But sometimes when you get two people who are so similar, instead of becoming a power couple, they become a toxic couple. And I think that is the issue with Mel and Martell. They are constantly competing with each other. Constantly competing. One-upping, jabbing. You did this. I did that. I did this. You did that. It's a competition all the time. With each other and with everybody else. As we talked about before, Martell was just like, well, you're talking about me cheating. Well, Marcel, you have 20 girlfriends. Competition. You're saying I'm doing something? Well, I'm going to say you did something worse. Melody. Oh, Tisha, you're talking about my marriage and my infidelity? Well, you might want to look what your husband, see what he's doing. Same thing, competition. You want to say something about me? I'm going to jab you back even worse. Melody and Martell deal with infidelity the way they deal with everything. They need to be the best, they need to be the alpha, and they need to compete, and they go for the jugular. So when Martell's out here doing his dirt, what does he say about Melody? Well, she cheated too. Dun, 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 like all this stuff. So he's even still competing with Melody to see who could be the worst partner. Because he's already caught out there with his dog. It's a competition, right? All this stuff. And then Melody, on this like alleged recording, I haven't read it yet, seen it yet. She's like, well, then when we were broken up, I either did fellatio or she got on the reunion. She said she got it. And I actually thought Melody was the MVP for that moment. And I was like, yes, I love you, Melody. She was like, well, I didn't do it, but I received it. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. But I think Melody and Martell are the competition couple. You're going to come at me. I'm going to come at you harder. You cheated on me. Well, I'm going to call you a cheater. Like, then I'm a cheater. Like, they just continually compete with each other. And that is why they consistently bump heads. It's like a big competition between themselves and each other. And again, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't consider, and this is my opinion, you guys, right? I'm not in their marriage. I don't know. Well, they're divorced now. This is just my opinion. I don't consider what Melody did to Martell, I don't put that in the cheating category, if what she said was true. So basically what she said was, it was 2017 or 19, whatever, mid 2000s, whatever. Date doesn't really matter. She got super disrespected by his side chick when she kept calling Ariane, when she kept calling and all that stuff. And Ariane was really disrespectful to Mel. Martell didn't step up. He just sort of let her be disrespectful to her. And then that's when Melody found out that he was cheating and all this stuff. They tried to reconcile. They tried to get through it. They ended up separating, and she moves into another apartment. Still legally married, but separated. He cheated, all of this stuff, right? In this situation, I don't consider what Melody did to be cheating. I think Martell is using semantics. I think Martell is being very over-exacting in order to, again, be in competition in order to beat Melody or to take her down a peg or two. He's like, you're talking about my infidelity. You're talking about my cheating, but you cheated. Martell, on what planet are you living on where you think what you did to Melody is in any way comparable to what she did to you? You were out here cheating on her. We know with at least one woman, I know that there's been more, for the better part of 5 years that's been documented, right? 5 years, so half of a decade, you've been cheating on this woman. Then you went out there and let that woman disrespect your wife to your wife's face in your own home, and you did nothing. And this was all even before the side baby stuff came out. And you're trying to compare what you did to her finding all of this out, and then her dating somebody or having a hookup or whatever. You're trying to compare. It's apples to oranges, Martell. So when you try and go out here and do a smear campaign, which is what narcissistic people do, the moment they think they don't have control over you, or they think they're losing in a fight, or their identity or their image is being threatened, they do a smear campaign. Oh, you cheated. You did fellatio. Who cares, Martell? Who cares? Like Carlos King said, you were still even on the level during a national panorama. That's code word for, what's going on with our health system, the virus, all that stuff, right? Even during that time, even during our quarantine lockdown, you left your wife, newborn child, and children to go be with this woman, and you think you have a leg to stand on because Melody went and had a little bit of fun? Make that make sense, Martell. How are you in any way, shape, and or form the victim in any of this? And anybody who comes after Melody, in my opinion, I don't understand that logic. How are you coming after this woman who had his children, was raising his children, gets disrespected by another woman in her home, and he does nothing? And then all of a sudden people want to villainize her because she went out when they were separated and she was actually living in a different place in the home? Miss me with all of that. I'm done with the misogyny. I'm done with the patriarchy. I'm done with the old time thinking when it comes to that. Please. I'm happy Melody did it. Cheers, Melody. I'm with you with that. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I'm with Melody on that. But they are the competer couple. They are going to compete with each other. They're going to compete with every other couple because remember, not this reunion, but the reunion after that, they had that whole united front, and it was like it's the Holtz against the world. It's that competition spirit. We may not be on the inside, we may not be that cool, but we're not gonna let you think you got the better of us. It's that competition spirit. Okay, so now let's get into Tiffany and Louis. Okay, that's what you guys are saying in the chat box. Hey, everybody. Okay. Hey, Misty. Hey, the Real Estate Insider. Hey, Lim Levity. Hey, Young Rich. Hey, everybody. Hey, Ebony. Hey, Marlene Berry. Hey, can I get a witness? What is up? What is up, everybody? Hey, Loretta. I love you. I love you. Hey, everybody. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to get to Tiffany and Louis, and then we'll do comments. Okay. All right, so Tiffany and Louis. I'm really not trying to be disrespectful. Lou. I'll always call him Lou from now on. I just can't get it together. Okay, so Tiffany and Lou. We'll do another quick recap for people who may have just joined. And if you just joined, like, subscribe, and comment in the chat box. Yeah, Tiffany and Lou are this week, correct? But I want to get in on their the way they handle infidelity too throughout the season. Okay, here we go. So again, Kimmy and Maurice explain our couple. They're going to explain it away. Tisha and Marsau, they are paranoid and they're going to cover it up. Never happened. Everybody wants my husband. Never happened, right? Melody and Martell are the competition couple. They are going to compete. You had a side baby. I got fellatio. Like it's just a competition. Okay. Tiffany and Lou. They are the play pretend couple. I don't believe anything they're putting down. I think people who, and this might sound hypocritical now that I'm thinking about it, but whatever. People who overuse buzzwords like authenticity and transparency, that kind of gives me a little bit of a red flag. It goes again to Kimmy's, thou dost protest too much. When you are jamming an agenda or jamming a narrative down my throat, to me, that means you're hiding something. Don't say I'm being authentic. Just be authentic and I'll know that you're being your real self. That's why I really liked Tisha. And I thought she was the MVP for the last couple of episodes when she brought Tiffany to task. And she was just like, so what do we know about you, Tiffany? What have you gone through? You know, what are your shortcomings? Tiffany had an opinion about everybody else's life except for Melody, because Melody is her puppet master. You know what I mean? Had smoke for Destiny, had smoke for Tisha, had smoke for Kimmy, right? But we didn't really know any bones about Tiffany and Lou. And then it comes out that both of them had cheated in their previous marriages, that infidelity part. But Tiffany played pretend. Well, you know, we both just wanted more, just, you know, different. What else is out there? No, sweetheart, why did you cheat? That was the question. Why? What did you want more of, less of, different type of what? What? Be authentic, be transparent, right? Oh, I'm just transparent, Tiffany. No, you're not. Because the thing is, if you are genuine, if you are authentic, if you are transparent, you just are those things. You don't have to say it. Show me, don't tell me. I don't think we've gotten to the core of who Tiffany and Lou are as an actual couple, but we do know that they both did cheat. I'm not saying once a cheater, always a cheater, because I don't actually believe that. But the fact that they are so shady and the fact that she had to surprise him with a wedding in public makes me believe something ain't right. There's something stinking, something's rotten, there's a fly in the milk, something isn't right. But they are this play pretend couple. Oh, we're so cool. We're so evolved. Blah, 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 blah. Like their biggest fight was over like the son getting a haircut and she wasn't there. Like that's not being authentic. That's not being transparent. That is being very like, well, what is the most hunky-dory thing we can say? What's the most cheesy cornball? Like they're coordinating me. They're cornballs. Like I want to see, what are your fights really like? What really drives you? How do you actually get true resolution? You know, who's Tiffany? Who's Lou? Like, I don't really know who these people are. And then they were so duplicitous, right? And I think that this is going to come up on the next reunion. They were all crying and understanding with the whole Maurice Jr. monster stuff, right? When Tiffany was so dead wrong and disgusting talking about monster vaping and bringing it up on national television. They were so humbled and they were so like, I know, I can't, like, we're sorry, blah, blah, blah. In Maurice's and Kimmy's and Kiowa's face. But then 2 scenes later, when they were at home in the comfort of their own tiny house, they were on the grass and on the lawnmower and they had all the smoke. Oh, he's lucky I didn't get a shot because that could have went really different. And then Tiffany with her two-faced self, I know. Where were your crocodile tears then, Tiff? I'm confused. Where was your authenticity? Where was your transparency then? I'm confused. Be the same. Be how you want to be in front of them and behind their back. That's actual integrity. That's actual authenticity. That's actual transparency. What Tiffany and Lou doing is just a front. They are playing pretend. Playing pretend, point blank, period. And that's why nobody connected to Tiffany, because what we connect to is authenticity. When someone is actually being themselves, they're not pretending, they're not having a persona, they're saying these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses, this is who I am, this is what I want, these are my failures, these are my mistakes, these are my successes. When you show up as a fully formed human being, warts and all, that is what we connect to. Because that's what's human. This play pretend that Tiffany and Lou are doing, I don't know what that is. And then you also see Tiffany is very, very different in her confessionals. I mean, a lot of people have a lot more bravado in confessionals, right? The producers are there egging you on, feeding you lines, but it's different. She has a different edge, a different energy. And it's just like, well, where is this Tiffany on the show? You're 2 different Tiffanys. You apologize and then you take it back. You play nice, but then you have all the smoke in the confessional. That's why people wanted you off the show, Tiffany, because you weren't transparent and you weren't authentic. You were fake and phony and playing pretend. And that's why no one connected to you. None of the ladies connected to you, Tiffany. Maybe Destiny a little bit when you guys got that drink and you connected on your childhood and stuff like that. But she only connected to you, Tiffany, because you were being a real human being. You were talking about your pain. You were talking about your struggle, but you're also talking about how you overcame it and how you were in a better place because of it. Because again, you don't want to be with negative people who all they talk about is their woes and troubles. Like that's not it either. But you do want to be with people who can say, you know what, this happened to me. And this is how I got through it. Or this is happening to me and I need support getting through it, right? That's authenticity. Showing up fully as you are. I don't know what the heck Tiffany is doing, but it's not being authentic. And that's why nobody was rocking with her. And that's why Tisha was the MVP and put her on blast. I don't even think Melody really likes her. I think Melody uses her. Tiffany is a tool of Melody's. She goes out there and she says whatever Melody says. And that's why Melody is such a bulldog to protect her. I think Destiny was 1,000% right. She was never able to connect with Tiffany or have a side conversation with her because Melody was always there to play referee. So I think behind the scenes, Melody was feeding Tiffany. I don't think anything Tiffany has said on this show that was not pre-approved, co-signed by Melody. I don't think the monster vaping was a shock to Melody. I don't think the Destiny infidelity rumors was a shock to Melody. I don't think anything she said. And that's why she keeps her so close. because she's a pawn. And then we can get into Destiny. But let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Okay, let's go. I'm going to go up some, so I hope I don't miss anybody. All right, I'm going to start here. Hey, Misty, Tassa's dress hurt my eyes. Tisha's dress hurt my eyes. I mean, yeah. They were all a little bit on the struggle bus, if I'm going to be honest. Hey, Ebony, Tisha became upset just hearing that Marcel suggested they get drinks to discuss a heated argument that she had with Martell. Yup. I didn't think drinks meant an affair. Tisha seems insecure. I agree. I don't think that drinks meant an affair. I think that Martell was using it, again, because he has to compete with everybody and he has to, like, one up. I think that, yeah, Tisha is totally insecure. Hey, Misty, getting a drink of Melody. Really? Exactly. Hey, Liam Levity, dropping the candy. Woo woo. Thank you. Hey, Miss T. Tisha also did the couples opposite with the forced vow renewal. Exactly. She did the complete opposite. She did. Exactly. Because she was trying to cover up because she was paranoid where she really should have just paid attention. Ridiculous. Hey, the real estate insider, dropping those candy canes. Thank you so much for that support. Thank you. Yes, Miss T, get some love at candywashington.com. I love it. Hey, Kylie B. Yeah, Tisha, what's up with that? Exactly. Hey, Marlene. She goes, boy, FYI. I love it. Hey, can I get witness? Hello, Candy and the Candy Canes. Hey, sweetheart, how are you? Hey, Misty, absolutely. That is why they were the most bothered by Carlos King hosting. Yeah, Tisha and Marsau, 100%. 100%. Misty, the Holts are always trying to one-up each other. Yep. And that is their problem. That is their problem. They only have a united front if it's in opposition to somebody else. We're together against you, which is what they did last reunion, rather than a healthy couple, which is we are in this together for the betterment of us, what we are going to build together as our own unit, versus we're together to be this versus everybody else. And that's why they fight, and that's why they compete, and that's why they have such problems with their friends. Hey, Young Rich! She goes, the peen must not have been that suckable. Yeah, you be wildin'. Hey, can I get a witness, Candy? Oh, she's lying about not remembering she did is hardly an MVP move. Surely engaging in F times 2 is something she would recall doing, in my opinion. Would not be surprised when all the way. Yeah, I think she was trying to, and again, I think this goes back to what I said before. I actually do think it's an MVP move. I wish she would have owned both of it. But again, the society that we live in, for some reason, when a woman owns her sexuality, when she owns her, what she does herself, she gets ridiculed for it and put down for it. Like, why should she feel ashamed that she did a sexual act with someone? And what Martell was doing was shaming her. We're not shaming Martell for any sexual act that he has done or not done. The shame that Martell has is that you cheated on your wife. You went out of your marriage and then you went and had a baby. But we're not shaming Martell for any sexual act. Melody was being shamed for a sexual act. And that is what is nuanced, and that is what the difference is. So I totally understand why she felt like she couldn't just be honest and say it out there. Because as women, we get labeled, we get shamed, we get criticized for having any type of ownership over our own sexuality or sexual pleasure. But Martell has never been shamed for a sexual act. He's only been shamed for going out, for breaking the vows and going out of the marriage, that part of it, right? So I understand Melody, and I do think she was the MVP, and I totally stand by that. Hey, Miss T, Carla says she is not the coleslaw, she is the whole restaurant. Listen. Hey, Loretta. Awesome show. Hey, sweetheart. That's my sister. Hi, sister. Okay. Let's see. Miss T, Tiffany and Louis are this week, right? Yep, they are this week. Yeah. Miss T, this shows all the couples combinations. They really do. They really do. Okay, let me see if I can get to more of that. Okay, here we go. Where are we? Where are we? I'm coming. Okay. Okay, there we go. Miss D says, Tiffany and Lou are the self-righteous couple. Exactly, and that's why they are the play pretend. People who are so exalted, so self-righteous, and so pretentious, watch them, people. Those are the people with the most to hide. Because the people who are the most critical, judgmental, and self-righteous, that's actually a deflection. What they're saying is, let's keep looking at you, what you're doing, so you don't look at me and what I'm doing. Those are the biggest people you need to watch out for. Hey, can I get a witness? Well, Mel admitted she started dating the fling 2 months before they officially filed for divorce, so they both seem to be one of the same. Neither gets points for infidelity, regardless of who cheated the most. I don't know. I appreciate that, but I'm cool with Melody. With whatever she did, I'm cool with it. Ms. T, Tiffany is full of word salad. She definitely is. How many months have Tiffany and Lou been married? I don't know, but like during the whole vow renewal, I think Marsau was like 9 months or 10 months or something. There was this whole thing they only got married in order to film. But my thing is, if they only got married in order to film, why did Tiffany have to throw a surprise wedding? Like, you would think that they would make him do it or something like that. I don't know. Just bizarre. Hey, Cotty, Tiffany and Louis sound like mannequins. They do. They're cornballs, right? They're corny to me. They're absolute cornballs. Hey, Ebony, I'm guessing by now Tiff and Louis have been married about 1.5 years. Yep, they're about a year when they started filming. Yep. Okay, you guys, I'm going to drop the call-in link if anybody wants to call in. I'm going to drop it now. Okay. So I dropped it. All right, let's see here. Oh, there we go. Hey, Miss T, Melody definitely used Tiffany to overproduce the season. 100%. Melody was behind all of that stuff. We all know it. Miss T, Martell is still trying to overcome his own actions. Exactly. Hey, can I get a witness? Maybe Melody needed a safe, desperate ally in Tiffany. Yeah, because she wasn't getting it in Destiny. That's the thing. I want to know, what is the real root cause? I mean, the real root cause of the divide between Destiny and Melody, because I don't think we've seen it. I think everything we've seen this season has just been symptoms. I think Melody always sticking up for Tiffany is a symptom of it. I think Destiny always having an issue with Melody is a symptom of it, right? I think those two fighting is a symptom. I think something happened behind the scenes. Something has gone down that we don't know about. Because it's just because they make up to break up and make up to break up. You know, they're their own up and down toxic couple in of themselves. All right, and with that, let's get to Destiny, okay? Let's get to Destiny. So Destiny and LeBaric, she wasn't there. So let's talk about her. Destiny is the shutdown. She's going to deflect and shut down. That is how she's dealing with this. Word on the street, again, this is all alleged. Word on the street is that Destiny may have been the one who dipped out on the marriage, and that's why it didn't work. I know Carlos King asked her that question directly, and we'll get that answer later. I'm not 100% sure. But when it did come to the demise of her marriage, she just deflected and shut down. She either just got quiet and got those little really big eyes and was just like, I don't know. Or she was just like, oh, well, I'm a businesswoman and I have a baby. Okay. You know, like she just deflected and shut down. She didn't really give us an answer or take it head on or really share what was going on in her life, right? So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Hey, Miss T, Andy needs to take notes on how to really host a reunion. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, Carlos coming on, it's an Andy move, but with someone who is actually prepared knows the culture, knows the players, and actually knows like what actually happened, right? He's engaged. He's engaged in what's going on. He knows what's going, like he's a part of it, right? So Carlos King is killing it. And he's asking the questions that we all actually want to know. And he's not playing favorites, and he's playing hardball. And that's what we really want. Hey, can I get a witness? Perhaps we'll see on part 2 reunion episode Destiny and Mel. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I want to know what that root cause of that is, because I don't think we've actually seen it yet. I really, really don't. Hey, Miss T, will the mothers show up this reunion? I hope so. Who are you guys side on? Are you on Team Vanessa, who's Melody's mom, or are you guys Team Wendy, who's Tisha's mom? Hey, Miss T, do you think Destiny will finally answer something? I do. I don't know if we'll get 100% of the truth, but I think that we will get more of the story, because she's being put on the spot. And I do think it's like reunions where it's like you're still vying for your spot on the show. You know, I know it's called Love and Marriage Huntsville, but as the topic of today's live, it should be called Love and Infidelity in Huntsville, because each couple either has ended in divorce or is literally riddled with infidelity. It's crazy. Hey, can I get it when it's yes, Carlo King was unbiased and balanced in his delivery. Exactly. And that made it more entertaining. That's when I was just like, okay, you guys, I can get on board with this. I can co-sign this. And he was asking the hard questions. I want to know why Melody walks off, though. I do want to know why Melody walks off. Hey, Ronnie. Carlos knows where all the bones are buried, and I doubt if Andy has all of the tea. Yeah, Andy is so disconnected. Andy just listens to his favorites, and he's extremely biased. I don't think he actually watches the shows, and he needs new assistants. Hey, Mohammed, he goes, awesome. Aw, thank you. Hey, can I get a witness? Mothers will defend their daughters regardless of the Alabama cultures. I enjoy both mothers. Yeah, I will say this. I will never, ever speak ill or disrespectfully about anybody's mother. Just not going to do it. But as a woman, when it comes to Miss Wanda, watching her, I found that to be very disheartening and very cringy. And I think it goes back to what we were talking about before, this hypocrisy and double standard patriarchy and toxic masculinity that occurs in our culture, where she is telling Melody that she needs to go back to a man who has cheated on her for years, has had a baby on her while they were married, is still cheating on her, is publicly disrespectful to her on camera, on social media, in real life, like extremely disrespectful. And Wanda is telling her to go back to him and saying, well, you're a woman and you have kids, who's going to want you? I'm sorry, I can't co-sign that. I don't care your age. I don't care whose mother you are. I don't co-sign that. That is toxic, generational trauma. That is a lot. Unfortunately, that is the narrative that passes down. And that's why women in this country and other places, there is a double standard. That's why Melody's being judged by the sexual act that she may or may not have done. Whereas Martell, who has cheated on her for half a decade or more, has a whole baby on her, still isn't even being held to that same exact standard. Because in order to absolve himself for what he did, he is now trying to publicly shame her for being a sexual individual, for being a sexual human being. Why is it that a woman gets shamed for a sexual act in order to alleviate what her husband did? So no, miss me with all that. And Miss Wanda, again, I'm never going to disrespect an elderly woman. I'm never going to disrespect anybody's mom. But woman to woman, what Miss Wanda said to me was disgusting and inexcusable. How can you look another woman in the face and say, go back to the man who abused you? I'm not talking about physical. I'm talking about emotional and mental and verbal. He's very verbally abusive to her. And this is alleged, but it's on camera and on Instagram and Twitter and wherever else they fight. It's extremely mentally and emotionally abusive to be cheated on for years, publicly humiliated, have your husband have a whole baby, have him then still continuously be with her. Like Ariana and Martell haven't broken up. They're still together. That's traumatic. And that actually brings me to what I was going to say with all of this stuff. So we have Melody and Martell, the competition couple. We have Kimmy and Maurice. They're going to explain everything away. We have Tisha and Marsau. They are the cover-up, paranoid couple. We have Tiffany and Louis. They are play pretend, fake couple. And then we have Destiny, who's going to deflect and shut down. But at the root of all this is how they're manifesting, how they're dealing with, this is how they're putting it out there, how they're dealing with the infidelity. But at the root of all of this is hurt, trauma, low self-esteem, low self-worth, no confidence, settling for less than what you deserve, and being so caught up in an image that you forfeit your actual happiness. Because that's what all of these couples are doing. You have to have low self-esteem and low self-worth to be in these types of dynamics. But to varying degrees. Kimmy and Maurice have actually grown on me. I warmed up to them, but I also hold them accountable too, because I think of all of these couples, they're the ones who are on the best footing and who's on the right track. I do think that Maurice is learning. I love that he is now giving Kimmy a honeymoon, and I love that he is now going to, therapy and counseling. I think that opened his eyes up a lot. But the fact that Kimmy waited, don't quote me on this, but it was like 5-7 years to get married, and then no honeymoon. And she was just like, well, I've just decided that, I won't get one. And, I've just accepted, it's just, being a Scot, he's not going to be there. And, I've accepted that. What? How do you wait 7 years to get married and then just say, oh, it's cool if we don't have a honeymoon? What? It would be different if she actually didn't care, right? Not everybody wants the same stuff. A honeymoon doesn't mean everything to everybody, right? Clearly, it didn't mean anything to Maurice. But it meant something to Kimmy. And it was obvious to everybody in the world that it really meant something to Kimmy. To the point where Destiny gave her a honeymoon trip, right? It was obvious to everybody in the world. And not being able to say to your husband, listen, I'm your wife, you're my husband. Us going on a honeymoon is really meaningful to me. It matters to me, and it would really, really make me happy, us better, if we could go on a honeymoon. Versus, well, it's just how it is. It's being married to a Scot. I don't need it. It was just ridiculous. And Kimmy, to me, is the most, of all of these women, I actually think she's the one who has the most confidence, true confidence and self-esteem and head on her shoulders. But it also goes into that trope, right? You could have a beautiful, intelligent, charismatic, accomplished woman in her life, right? But when it comes to these relationships, still are settling, having low self-esteem, all of that stuff. I'm not saying that, and I think it's to varying degrees. I don't think Melody and Kimmy and Tisha and Tiffany and Destiny are all the same on the spectrum, right? I'm just saying in general. But that does play into it. And I have empathy for that, right? I think we all, if we're being honest, at some point in our life have been in situations where we didn't have the best self-esteem. We didn't have the best confidence. We didn't have the best self-worth. And we found ourselves settling not asking for what we deserve, not showing ourselves respect, right? Taking what we can get rather than, stating what we deserve. And I think that's what's happening with all of these relationships. Both men and women. I'm not men bashing by any means. I don't think Marsau is really happy in his relationship. I think he might be settling a little bit there too. Do I think that there's love? Yes. Do I think that all of these relationships are unsalvable? No. But I do think that they all have been riddled with infidelity. I think the way that they have dealt with them has been a little bit unhealthy and toxic. And I think at the root of it is a little bit of low self-esteem and low self-worth. I think some of the couples are working on it and they're making strides. And I think other couples are still in the same holding pattern. Melody and Martell are divorced, but they are the same. I don't really know the difference between Melody and Martell's relationship being divorced and married. Still in each other's business, still fighting like cats and dogs. I don't get it. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Hey, Ronnie F. Right, jeopardize the family's health by leaving home during the lockdown. Exactly. Hey, can I get a witness? Well, I don't co-sign the marriage or conduct on the show, but I equally view all characters and whatever it comes to the shenanigans. I do not view this as real social experiment. As a real social experiment, true. You know what? Can I get a witness? To that point, you're right. Because remember at the beginning of the reunion, and I didn't know this, but at the beginning of the reunion when Carlos was saying how Marsau was so upset that they changed the name to Love Marriage Hunstville because he thought it was a show about construction and real estate. So I think he thought he could keep his bones buried. And he could again have this front, like whatever happened to the 47 acres. They're still trying to figure that situation out. That kind of just project. Was that what was that about? And it did very much turn into like a Real Housewives, Love and Hip Hop, whatever it was, right? But yeah, they didn't want to show that. Hey, Misty, didn't win the honeymoon? Exactly. Hey, can I get a witness? Yes, Kimmy too. Yup. And viewing the relationship on the show, each couple seems to be settling and is generally reflective of self-esteem. Exactly. Can I get a witness? I think in all of this, and then again, of course, no relationship is perfect. No relationship is perfect. I'm not talking about perfection here, but when you actually break down these dynamics and you break down these relationships, you do see a lot of inequity. You do see a lot of settling. You do see a lot of cheating. You do see a lot of emotional, mental, verbal abuse going on. And you do see a lot of that being rooted in low self-esteem, being too heavily image conscious, and settling. Because this is the thing. If you feel that you have settled for something, whether it's you're settling in a friendship and family, in a relationship, in a marriage, in a job, whenever you feel you have settled, what you will breed in the space between what you settled for and where you think you could be is resentment. This is where resentment will live. From where you settled to where you think you can be, resentment. And you see the resentment manifesting in these relationships. Because when you feel that you are being disrespected in your relationship, when you feel you're not being seen or heard, validated in your relationship, you better believe you will start to resent your partner for it. And based on that resentment, that's when you get everything else popping off. Not listening, staying out at night, making jabs, cheating, whatever it is, right? Because instead of loving that person as a partner, you resent them as the person who is in the way of the life that you wish you had. This is how it is. Hey, Miss T. However, once the show pivoted, he still chose to stay on it. Of course he chose to stay on it. Of course he did. I mean, this is the thing. If you're going to do a reality show, you have to be a particular personality. And it's also how people go on reality shows who are like the crooks and the scammers. Erica Girardi, Teresa Giudice, Jen Shaw, the list goes on, right? All these people who, beyond these vasectomies and 20 girlfriends and all of this stuff, right? Who have actual like FBI, federal, going to prison problems. They still decide to go on reality TV. So if the threat of federal prison isn't stopping these personality types, the fact that you have 20 girlfriends isn't going to stop you. You see what I'm saying? Because it takes a particular type of personality to go on a reality television show. I'm not built for reality TV. I would love to be a producer. I would be behind the scenes, but I wouldn't be on the show. Hey, Miss T, Destiny seems to be the only one who isn't settling. Yeah. But we have to wait and see what happened. Was not like, we have to wait to see why, did he divorce her? Right? Like we have to see what happens. Hey, Miss T, do you think Tiffany and Lou will make it for at least 5 years? Oh. I never want to speak on the demise of somebody's relationship. Everything. But now that I think about it, you know what? I'm actually going to say yes. With this caveat. I think Tiffany and Lou are very similar. I think they're both in on the okie. Because they both are in on it. You see what I'm saying? Because they're both in on it. So I would see them getting divorced only if, I don't know, maybe one of them wanted something different. I don't know. But I think they're both in on it. They're both in on the okie doke. So I think it's almost like con artists and scammers. It's like, why would they break up? It's like they're a duo. Let's see here. Hey, can I get this? I proposed a few sugar pills before the next season. Yes, that's right, you guys. So next week, we're going to have some more sugar pill sessions dropping every day. And then also subscribe to my podcast. It's called Sugar Pills, A Practical Guide to Self-Care. It's linked in the description box. You can find it on iHeartRadio, Apple, Audible, Google Podcast, anywhere you listen to podcasts. It is, again, Sugar Pills, A Practical Guide to Self-Care. And then we also do them here on YouTube as well, but subscribe. Yes, we will. Hey, Miss T, is Tisha using any of her degrees? I don't think you need a degree to listen. I have a degree, but you don't need one to host a podcast, which is what Tisha does, or to throw events. So I don't think she is. Again, I think that goes into the settling and resentment. That's a really good point, right? Because didn't it come out this season that the origin story of Marsau and Tisha changed? Like, I thought that they had met, fallen in love, and made this like whole social contract that Marsau always liked to throw in Tisha's face, that she was going to stay home, be barefoot and pregnant, and he was going to go out and like bring home the bacon. But then it actually turned out this season that they met when she was in college or something like that. Maybe not college, I don't know. And she was actually 4 months pregnant when they got married. That is a very, very, very different dynamic and circumstance to get married under than what they had been saying before. So yeah, I do think Tisha resents Marsau. 100%. Young Rich says he knew darn well this wasn't going to be no Extreme Makeover Home Edition Bob the Builder type of show. He's going to learn today. Hey, can I get away with Miss D? She earned 2 degrees in the same concentration. You guys. Miss D, what? Hey, Young Rich, I think they playing it smart now, putting all their problems on TV. You mean Tiffany and Lou? This is the thing. I always believe in boundaries. I think you can be transparent and authentic. That doesn't mean you don't have boundaries. The problem is, I think that Tiffany and Lou are not actually being themselves. You can talk about your marriage, you can talk about your life and be open about it, but still protect what is sacred, still protect what is private, still have boundaries with it, but you're still being yourself, right? Like me, I get up here, I talk, this is who I am. This is it. But I still have boundaries. I still have what is sacred to me. And I'm not on a reality TV show. I'm in my like at-home studio talking to a webcam and talking to you guys, right? So if you sign up for a reality TV show, yes, you can still have healthy boundaries. Yes, you can still keep things private and sacred, but you have to show up as yourself or else we see through it. And that's the problem with Tiffany and Lou. Let's see here. Hey, can I get a witness? Letitia works for her husband's construction company and she has shares in the business. Yeah. Oh, that's right. They do have like the restaurant and the black chocolate in a bottle. Hey, Miss T, Tisha's marriage sounds very codependent. Yep. That explains why she is shocked that she now wants changed. Exactly. He thought she would just be a yes person. But now that she's evolving, now that she's becoming her own person, now that she's stepping into self, he has a problem with that. But again, I think when they got married, they got married because they were kind of forced to. And anytime you're forced to do something, you get resentful. You get resentful when you feel like it wasn't your choice. And I think when she got pregnant, they probably felt like they didn't have a choice anymore. And Tisha even said that on the show. She said, this isn't the life I thought I was going to have. This isn't the life that I wanted for myself. You know, she was going to school. She wanted to, you know, be an entrepreneur. She wanted to go to business. She wanted to do all this stuff. And then she got pregnant. And then she got married. And then she had to live this life. She said it herself. She said, this was not the life I saw for myself. I didn't want to be a mother this early. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. Hey, Miss T, do you think you'll add more couples next season? I hope so. We need to freshen it up a bit. We need to freshen it up with an actual new couple. Not Tiffany, not Lou. Destiny can stay, whatever. Can I go? As people who covered these shows likely already have the 401 on Tiffany and Lou. They're just waiting to take them down in real life. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Hey, Young Rich. Miss T, I hope so. Dun, 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 dun. All right, you guys, this has been so much fun. Don't forget to join members only. Join the membership. The link is down in the description box. You can gain access to our private live the first Wednesday of every month. With that, you guys, this has been so much fun. I hope you gain some insights on infidelity, cheating, mental health, and esteem. And I will say this, know your worth. I don't care if you're a man or a woman, a single parent, divorcee, whatever it is, know your worth. You don't ever have to settle. Disrespect is not a necessity of love. You can be loved without being disrespected or embarrassed or belittled or settling. Know your worth. That's what I want to leave everybody out here on. You are lovable, you are worthy, and you are valuable. And you do not have to settle for someone who does not see that. And you do not have to settle for anyone who does not honor you. You don't have to do it. You can be happy by yourself, or you can be happy with a healthy partner who loves you. You don't have to settle. I want to leave that with everybody. Know your worth. Love yourself first. Respect yourself first. And don't take no ish. That's all I gotta say. Woo, 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 woo. All right, guys. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. So as we are in here, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, join the members only, share this with a friend, shop the Love collection over on candywashington.com. Get yourself a hoodie, get a candle, get a mug, get you something. Just love Till next time, everybody, be well. Take care of yourself and other. I love you guys. Bye. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram @Candy Washington. Let's go!